Welcome back to another Mr. Lee Teaches quick video on how to blend a AVID reading strategy called Think, Pair, Share with an online tool called Flipgrid. We're going to be using agriculture as our example lesson today, and I hope you get something out of this that you can use tomorrow in your classroom. Enjoy. Welcome back to another Mr. Lee Teaches. Today we're going to be talking about an AVID reading strategy actually called Think, Pair, Share, but we're going to blend it, meaning we're going to take it and we're going to use technology to enhance the activity, to make it more deeper activity and more meaningful perhaps. So what we're going to use today is we're going to use Flipgrid. And if you've never seen Flipgrid before, I'll show you real quick. It's a free and a pay-for service. The free service is perfectly great to use. We'll just log in real quick, and I've already got a grid set up, but I'm going to show you how to make a new grid real quick. Oops, not that way. I'm going to go into the class I've already created, and we're going to create a new topic. And so it's real simple. We'll just add the topic here. We'll just call it new topic. And the free version, we're locked into 1 minute and 30 seconds. For our video. So your students can't go longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds. Now they can go shorter, obviously, but they can't go longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds. So if you've ever done group work where you have the students present to the class, you know 1 minute and 30 seconds is an awesome short amount of time. It's enough to get the idea across, but it's not long enough to let them ramble and go on and take that activity you wanted to do in half a class and turns it into 2 class periods just to get everybody through. So 1 minute and 30 seconds is a great time. You have 350 characters to give your description, instructions, topic, question that you want them to answer. Answer this question. And so it's not a lot of space, so you may need to give some instruction on what to do, what you expect from them, aside from just the directions on the Flipgrid. And you can choose the date for it, and you can set up some features down here where you can require their email address for them to be able to submit the video. You can freeze the topic so that students can go back and view older topics but can no longer record to them. You can display the number of views, and if you pay for it, you can get responses to the videos posted by other students. I like that aspect, but it's up to you whether you think it's worth it paying for it or not. And then we just create it, and it gives us a link. So we can take this link, put it in Google Classroom, share it out to our students. If you want to know more about Flipgrid, seriously, just create an account and get in there and play with it. It's very simple to use. So here's my Flipgrid that I created, where I linked an article that I wanted my students to read. So when my students go to this Flipgrid, they're going to read the directions, read the article linked here, and think about your stance on GMOs in the world's food supply. So if they go to the video, or the article, and I went to modernag.org, which is a agriculture website. It is sponsored by Monsanto, and so that would be something the students might notice if they're reading this article. And then, excuse me, have them just read through the article. And then once they're done with the article, they come back, and you ask them to write down 2 pros and 2 cons for having GMOs in the food chain. Or you could have them 3 pros, or tell them to pick a side. And one side or the other, and then you can pair them up with somebody who's against. So if you can have a pro and a con paired up with each other. There's all kind of different pairings you can do with this. For this example, though, I just said write down 2 pros and 2 cons for GMOs in the food chain. Then get with a partner, share your pros and cons with each other, discussing both sides of the issue, and come up with 1 strong pro and 1 strong con for GMOs, and then post it to the Flipgrid. So I've asked them to think about the article they just read and write some notes on it. Then they get with a partner and pair up and discuss that article. And then I want them to share what they've discussed with the class. That's the Think, Pair, Share. The blended part of it comes in where they actually add the responses in the video format. Now, because I'm recording this screen, I can't actually go through that recording process, but it's very simple. It works on Chromebooks, iPads, laptops. As long as you have a webcam of some sort, this will work very easily. I have an example already completed, so as people finish and submit their videos, your grid pops up and it starts looking something like this. And then you can go in and actually play the videos.
Hey, it's Stewie.
So this was one I did at a conference just this week, and you can see that we did a similar type activity at the conference, and we only recorded 49 seconds. But 49 seconds was enough for us to get across our message. And if we click on some other ones, 55 seconds. So that minute and a half really is long enough, believe it or not, to get across the message after the students have thought about it, have discussed it with a partner, and now they're sharing out to the class. Once you've done this much of the project, you can take these and then play them for the class. And at a minute and a half, if you have 30 students, that means you have 15 videos. That means you're going to have, maybe 20 minutes worth of videos to watch. And so you've taken that presentation aspect of your assignment and shortened everybody down to a minute, minute and a half. And so you can fit all of this into one class period, which would be great. And possibly even to half a class period if you've used this more than once and your students are familiar with the process. This can take that reading strategy and make it very efficient and very streamlined. One other thought you could do is you could take this, and after they've posted the video, you could have some sort of assignment where they have to pick 2 or 3 videos at home and then write a response to present in class the next day. There's a lot of different things you can do with this. But I hope that you got something out of this video. You learned how to use Flipgrid to do a reading strategy. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe down below. Look at my channel for other videos that may pique your interest, and come back again next week as we have another video, hopefully.